Hola chicos, Señorita Nolty coming to you. It is officially the fourth quarter, and it's officially the end of our unit about los pasatiempos en los deportes. So that means today we're starting una nueva unidad, a new unit. And this one, like I said in my email last week, is en la ciudad, in the city. So by the end, we will be able to talk about places in cities and in our community, including talking about where things are located, compare and contrast cities in the Spanish-speaking world and the United States, be able to ask for and give people directions between different places, and also talk about future events, like what's going to happen or what you're going to do. So those are a few things that we'll cover in this unit and in our last 9 weeks together. Today, though, what we're going to be focusing on is learning about some common places and buildings in the city. So with this information, we'll be able to talk about places we go and things that we do in these places to some extent. And also, we're even going to start today talking about places that are common in cities in Spanish-speaking countries, but that are not necessarily as common in the US. So I first want you guys to take some notes, and I have these here for you. I'm going to have you fill them out using your brain and a dictionary. You will notice that a lot of them are cognates, words that sound similar in Spanish and in English. So for example, el hospital. I wonder what that could be. El banco. Really tough. So use your judgment, and then if there's one you're really stuck on, you can go ahead and use word reference to look it up. I will be checking your notes to make sure that you have it correct. And I'm going to give you a couple freebies in this video. So after we take some notes, I'm going to give you guys a few riddles. All right. So the first building I want to talk to you guys about is this one, El Ayuntamiento. El Ayuntamiento. Not a very common building in the United States, but present in every city in Spain and in some Latin American countries as well. El Ayuntamiento, if you look at it, it looks kind of fancy and official. That's because that's a government building. So that is where the government, the local government would work. Somebody like the mayor might have their offices in there, and other agencies who are responsible for running the government of the town or the city. So that's el ayuntamiento. We have them in some places here, but not as many. I think if I were going to choose a translation for that, I would say ayuntamiento is town hall. That's what I would say. Local government building. Whatever you want to put in your notes is fine. Okay, the next couple of buildings I'm going to tell you about all have a common theme. So this is the carnicería. And in the carnicería, they sell carne, meat. So a carnicería is a butcher, okay? We also have a frutería. If you scroll down, it's here. Frutería. And in the frutería, they sell fruta. So you can see they also sell some other groceries and household items. Like I think they have some chips and some bacon, but their primary product is fruit, frutería. Here we have the panadería, okay, la panadería. And in the panadería, they sell pan, bread, so it's a bakery. Here we have the papelería. Papelería, in the papelería, they sell papel, paper. So they might also sell some other office supplies like you see here. This would kind of be like our Staples or Office Max. It's a stationery store or an office supply store, I guess you could say. Also, we have a pescadería. In the pescadería, they sell pescado, fish, and other seafoods. So you have probably noticed by now that all of these words have a common ending, ería. And there are some other words on your list that have that same ending, like la heladería or la librería. Why don't you go ahead and tell me, what do you think la librería could sell? What might they sell in la librería? If you said books, you're correct, libros. So whenever you see that ería ending in Spanish, that's going to tell you that it's a place where they sell whatever is in the beginning part of the word, okay? And another thing I want to point out to you guys is that having a fish store or a seafood store, and then a paper store, a bakery, a fruit shop, here in the United States, most of us would just go to the supermarket. We'd go over to Giant Eagle or go over to Walmart and we'd get our fruit and our bread and our meat. But in Latin America and in Spain, it's a lot more common for people to go to each of these different shops to get their products. One reason for this is that these are local products. They're coming from local places. They're supporting their local businesses. The food's going to be fresher and probably of a little better quality than you would get in a supermarket. Not that they don't have big supermarkets too. They do, but a lot of people still do their shopping at these smaller businesses, even though it means a little more walking around. Okay, the next couple I want to tell you about are el hotel and el hostal. So, if you have never traveled outside of the United States, you might have never heard this English word, hostel. So, basically, the difference between a hotel and a hostel. A hotel, if you have ever stayed in one, it is a private room. You have your own bathroom attached, and then depending on how fancy it is, you might also have like extra luxuries or space. A hostel, okay, while they do have some private rooms in some cases, most of the time they're dorm rooms. So you're sharing with maybe 3 other people or 8 other people or sometimes even like 19 other people. And in some cases you have a bathroom in your room, but in other cases you have like a big communal bathroom that the whole hall would share. So apart from those differences, one of the big differences, obviously, is the price, because a hostel is way cheaper to stay in than a hotel, like really, really cheap. So if you're someone like me who really likes to travel but doesn't have a lot of money, sometimes staying in hostels can be a good option because you can save a lot. That said, I would highly recommend that you always read reviews and check, because sometimes hostels are not really nice and they can be really dirty or not safe. So do your homework before you decide to stay in a hostel, but they're not terrible. I've stayed in some really nice ones. Okay, I like to add this building in here only because I increasingly find that you guys don't know what this is, even in English. So this is La Mezquita. La Mezquita, we don't have a ton of them in Pittsburgh, but they do exist. La Mezquita es donde rezas. It's where you pray si tú eres musulmán, if you are Muslim. So mezquita in English is a mosque. Okay, if you're Muslim, si eres musulmán, rezas en una mezquita. You pray in a mezquita. If you were Jewish, you would pray in la synagogue. If you're Catholic or Christian, you might pray in la iglesia, church, or even la catedral, the cathedral. So that's what a mezquita looks like. Okay, este es el mercado. El mercado is a market. So we have markets here, but again, not super common. In Spain and Latin America, most cities and towns have a big open air market like this. And in the market, you can buy lots of things. Yes, you can buy food. Sometimes they have even restaurants who have set up a location in the market. Many things. You can often buy clothes, souvenirs, artisan crafts, open air markets. Very European, not as common here, although they do exist. If you've been to the Strip District here in Pittsburgh, they have some markets that look kind of like this. Okay, I put this one in here just because I love it so much and I think it's hilarious. So, Parque de Bomberos. You might have noticed that we have here el parque, park. We know this word. We've seen it before, right? So, el Parque de Bomberos, if you were to translate it literally, would be the park of firefighters. That is what they call their fire stations. So I love that, the firefighter park. Okay, este es una plaza. Esta es la plaza. Or in English, a plaza. Again, not something that doesn't exist in the United States, but not common at all. Versus in Spain, definitely, and in Latin America as well. Every town or city is going to have at least one big plaza that's like a big meeting space for the whole community. So they like to spend a lot of time outside meeting with people in the plaza. It would be a really common place where if you're going to meet friends to then later go out somewhere, you would all meet in the plaza. Or a lot of times there's street performers going on there, restaurants, places to eat. So it's kind of a big outdoor community space, the plaza. This is a different type of plaza, and this is not one you'd find in the United States. This is la Plaza de Toros, and toros means bulls. So this is a bullfighting arena. Mostly have them in Spain. They're not in the United States because they are not legal here. But in Spain, they are still legal, even though there are some animal rights groups who are trying to make that not the case. So this would be where they have bullfighting, which is still a super important part of Spanish culture and traditions. Sorry. Okay, este es el polideportivo. El polideportivo, I don't even know of one good English word to translate this. I haven't found one that I like yet. But a polideportivo, I guess you could kind of think about it as a sports complex. Or if you have been to a YMCA, that's kind of like a polideportivo. But inside, you would find things like maybe they have a basketball court and a soccer pitch and a pool and a gym. So basically, it's a big sports complex with different places to play lots of different sports or train for different athletic activities. That's a polideportivo. The last thing that I want to point out is the fact that we have on our vocabulary list la tienda, and then I have in parentheses de. So la tienda just means store, but if you want to specify what type of store it is, you can use de and say like it's a store of. So for example, Forever 21 would be una tienda de ropa, a clothing shop, because that's what they sell there, okay? Tienda de ropa. Or a home goods would be like una tienda de productos domésticos, a home product store, something like that. So that's tiendas. Okay, now it's time for the acertijos. If you have not done so, what you need to do now is pause the video, fill out the rest of your vocabulary sheet, okay, and then come back and try and solve the riddles. When you're ready, riddle number 1. ¿Es un lugar donde puedes rezar? ¿Es donde rezas? Si eres cristiano, pero no es una iglesia. ¿Dónde es? Where is it? ¿Dónde es? Es la catedral. Okay, it's a place where you pray. It's a place where you pray if you're Christian, but it's not a church, the cathedral. Next one. ¿Es un lugar donde compras comida de muchos tipos? Where you buy food of many types. No es el restaurante. No es el supermercado. ¿Dónde es? El mercado. ¿Es un lugar donde compras comida? La comida es fría y cremosa, creamy. Normalmente vas en el verano. ¿Dónde es? La heladería. Es un lugar muy tranquilo. Hay muchísimos libros. Pero normalmente no compras los libros. ¿Dónde es? Es la biblioteca. Si estás enfermo, puedes visitar este lugar. No es el hospital, es donde compras medicinas. ¿Dónde es? Es la farmacia. Es un lugar donde viajas. Puede ser un viaje nacional o internacional. Hay muchos aviones. ¿Dónde es? Es el aeropuerto. All right, and that was my last riddle for you guys. So, we're going to continue working with this vocabulary throughout our unit. No, I don't expect you to have every single word on this list memorized. This is more like a mini dictionary for you guys to work from as we're working through some of the information. So, make sure that you have completed your Ed puzzle, filled out your notes. Muchas gracias y hasta la próxima.